Howdy folks, Scott Bradshaw here, A.S.K Knock Outdoors. Haven't been putting out a lot of content lately, but I've been kind of lazy, I guess. But I had a big weekend last weekend. I went out to Mississippi, Como, Mississippi, to the crappie compound. I hung out there with Les Smith and the crappie cartel. Had a wonderful time. Great event, great sponsors. One of the sponsors was Pico Lures. We got a lot of nice swag from t-shirts and caps and got some crankbaits and just got all kind of good stuff from the sponsors. But the fishing that we did out there gave me some ideas for some devotional. So I'm gonna put out a Sunday morning devotional here for a couple of weeks maybe. And anyhow, I had a great time. And how you like that cap? Those are good looking caps, and especially like the colors of them. You know, Charles Spurgeon wrote his wordless book that he used to share the gospel with orphans, and it didn't have any words in it. It was just colors. It was black, red, and white. Black representing sin, and red representing the blood of Christ that washes us clean, makes us white as snow. So I use those colors and tie some lures, fish with fish with those lures quite a bit. If you've seen some of my stuff, you may know that already. But so that cap, the colors of it fit just perfect. So while we were there, of course, first night, the sponsors got up and told us a little bit about their product and their companies. And Mitch Glenn from Pico Lures got up and started talking about his crankbaits. And the interesting feature that kind of sets his crankbaits apart, if you look, they have dimples. And he shared with us the idea behind those dimples and talked about his old bass fishing days and spinner baits. When the water gets a little stained, they'll use a hammered blade, which is beat up. It's got little contours and stuff in it, kind of like the dimples on this crankbait. Puts out more light. That kind of stuck with me. You know, it's Matthew 5:16. It says, "Let your light shine before men in such a way that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven." So, you know, Jesus tells us to let our light shine, and you know, we don't really have any light. We just reflect His light. Same thing with the Pico crankbaits here. They don't have their own light. They just reflect the sunlight. But because of the fact that they got to look like they're beat up a little bit, hammered a little bit, got dimples in them, dents, dings, causes it to sparkle just a little bit more. Instead of being a flat mirror, it's more like a disco ball, and gives a little more light. It's kind of the same way with us as Christians. You know, we want everything to go smooth. We want everything to go well. We don't want any problems in our life. But one thing that Jesus promises us, look here in John 16:33, said, "These things I have spoken to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you have tribulation, but take courage, I have overcome the world." So one thing that Jesus tells us straight up is, in the world we're going to have tribulation, but not to worry, because He's got this. He has overcome, and we can put our faith and trust in Him. Turn over to what Paul says in Romans chapter 5, verse 3. It's not only this, but we also exult. There's some translations say celebrate, some translations say rejoice, but we also rejoice in our tribulations, knowing that tribulation brings about perseverance, and perseverance, proven character, and proven character, hope. So Paul tells us that tribulations and trials can be a good thing. They can help us to become better people. James says something similar in chapter 1, verse 2 and 3. He says, Consider it all joy, my brethren, when you encounter various trials, knowing that testing of your faith produces endurance. And let endurance have its perfect result, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. In the same way, 1 Peter 1, verses 6 and 7. In this you greatly rejoice, even though now for a little while, if necessary, you have been distressed by various trials, that the proof of your faith, being more precious than gold which is perishable, even though tested by fire, may be found to result in praise and glory and honor at the revelation of Jesus Christ. So, getting beat up, dinged up, dented up, it's not any fun. But the Bible's clear that we can actually rejoice in it. It's going to make us better suited to serve God, and how we respond in those situations where we are tried and go through tribulations is going to be a witness to others, and our faith in Christ is going to show, or our lack of faith in Christ is going to show as well if we're weak. So, but we see that in people that do some of the best work for God, that God uses the most, are people that have been through hard things, have gotten beat up and dented up, and sometimes their testimonies are the most powerful testimonies that exist, and God uses them in great ways to show Himself and to draw others to Him. So, just a little devotion, a little thought. Just don't get down. If trials and tribulations come your way, just know that God is sovereign. God can use those hard things and make you better when you come through those things, and more useful to Him, and more valuable in bringing others into the kingdom. But yeah, trials and tribulations are hard. They're not fun, but good can come from them. The time out there in Mississippi was a blast. Big thank you to Les and Lois and the Crappie Cartel, and all the sponsors, all the guides, all the people that pitched in. Dean McCoy came down and cooked, and it was outrageous. It was just unbelievable. He was a little nervous about cooking brisket for old Texas boy, but this Texas boy loved his brisket. He knocked it out of the park. He did a great job, and everybody out there did. Had a good time out there fishing. Pulled these crankbaits with planer boards, and planer boards gave me some ideas for a couple more devotions that try to bring the next couple Sundays. But thank you guys for watching, and as always, remember, ask, seek, knock.